people are so stuck in the dogmatic way of thinking. I've always done it this way. I heard somewhere on a blog post this skinny guy that lives in the woods say he only eats nuts and seeds and he's strong. Okay, it's anecdotal evidence, right? It's probably specific to him. There are outliers, all right? It's outliers out there. Welcome back to Fueled by Plants. And I want to talk about protein because there is a whole lot of misconceptions, a whole lot of lying, a whole lot of bullshit out there about plant-based protein and what you actually need, how to actually get it, what are the good sources, what are the bad sources, what are protein sources in general, and how to actually thrive on a plant-based diet. So number one is going to be what what are considered protein sources. Okay, so what is considered a protein source? Well, if you look at the scientific literature, it is something what has the largest amount of protein opposed to the other macronutrients. Meaning, if you take a banana, right, think a banana is like roughly 100 calories. And if you look at the macros, a banana has the highest amount of carbohydrates, the lowest amount of fat, and protein is super low as well. Okay. So bananas would not be considered a protein source, it would be considered a carbohydrate source. And everyone would agree to this, right? You won't hear no one saying, well, I get all of my protein from bananas. You're not going to hear that. I don't know anyone out there in the space, in the vegan space, or in the fitness space in general that will tell you bananas are a great protein source. Why? Because they know that bananas have a higher quantity of carbohydrates opposed to protein. I think it's probably like 1 gram of protein. Let's take something else. Let's take spinach, for example. Spinach has higher protein content than bananas, but what else is higher in spinach? Well, you could say the carbs are high, or you could say the fiber is very high. And the protein source is still not higher than the fiber or the carb. All right. So you would say that spinach has some protein, but you really wouldn't say spinach is a protein source. Like if you were telling the vegan, okay, this is what you want to build muscle. Well, go ahead and go get you some spinach. Even though Popeye said get your spinach, it's probably not going to be the best source. It has a little protein, but not the best source. All right. Now, let's talk about something like beans, for example. Beans are a great food for energy. It has a whole lot of carbohydrates and it has higher protein sources than bananas, than any type of fruit, any type of vegetable. So the protein is up there. But I think per 100 grams of black beans, I think the carbohydrate intake is about 20 grams and the protein intake is about 15 to 16 grams. Now it's up there, it is higher, but you are compromising going over in carbs, right? You risk the chance of going too high in carbohydrate just to get enough protein. Now, let's talk about some good protein sources where the carbohydrates are low and the fat sources are low. Let's talk about seitan, right? Per 100 grams of seitan is going to be roughly about 350 calories, and it's going to be about 50 grams of protein. And the carbohydrates are super low. It's like 2 grams of carbohydrates. Now, with that, you can actually get your protein sources, and you don't have to, worry about going too high in carbohydrates. I actually have a client right now who was dealing with this specifically. He was tired of eating beans and rice and things like that, trying to get protein because he kept going too high in carb. Now, if you don't have a problem with bloating, if you don't have no problem with going too high in carbs, or you don't care about your macros, then by all means, get your protein from beans and rice and legumes. Do that. It's completely fine. I have no problem. You're not going to hear me say anything about it. But for the people that I help, the people who actually want to build muscle, I tell them that the best protein sources are protein powders, right? Seitan, tofu, tempeh, things like that. Now, how or why is this such a controversial topic? It's because it's a whole lot of propaganda out there. And my personal belief and opinion about this is that it comes from the meat and dairy industry. All right. Now, if you tell people that they should get their protein sources from beans, legumes, veggies, nuts, and seeds, and things like that, and they don't get the results that they are looking for, they're going to revert back to eating meat and dairy and things like that to get their protein there. All right. But if you tell people to get their protein sources from protein powders, tofu, tempeh, seitan, and things like that, oh, now they're going to get great results because that is a good protein source. Now they don't have to revert back to old patterns. And this goes back to one of my clients that I was working with. He said that he would, revert back to eating fish. He would revert back to eating this or that. And he didn't want to do that anymore. And the problem was he was trying to get his protein from rice and beans. He was listening to the propaganda. There's a lot of people out there that are stuck in the dogma. I was thinking about this earlier. Look, if you get new information that conflicts with the information that you already have, if it's good information and it's true information, you should adapt, right? You should adapt. Before going vegan, I had no idea about vegan or about plant-based foods or the dairy or meat industry. I had no idea about this stuff. And I was eating all this garbage, right? But as soon as I got that new information, I adapted and changed, right? So it's the same thing. People are so stuck in the dogmatic way of thinking. I've always done it this way. I heard somewhere on a blog post, this skinny guy that lives in the woods say he only eats nuts and seeds and he's strong. Okay, it's anecdotal evidence, right? It's probably specific to him. There are outliers, all right? It's outliers out there. It's one person that gets all his protein from beans and walnuts. You may not get the same results as that person. So I'm giving you the basic outline of how to get protein on a plant-based diet. And with that being said, you don't have to just eat soy and protein powder all day. You can eat a wide range of foods. I'm just telling you, get the majority of your protein from these sources, and you will be able to build muscle. You will be able to lose fat. You will reduce the bloating. You will be able to get to your results, and it'll be a much easier process if you follow the script. Now, if you're out there and you're struggling with going vegan, building muscle, toning up, losing weight, or just becoming the healthiest version of yourself, I want you to click the link below, hop on my Fit Vegan quiz. All right. On that quiz is going to tell you every single thing you need to know about going vegan, how to maintain a vegan lifestyle. But most importantly, it's going to show you, your body type and what you actually need to thrive. All right. Also, you get a free meal plan as well. So go ahead and click that link and get your free meal plan. It's Christmas time. All right. So this is my gift to you, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you get your protein from nuts and seeds? Do you get your protein from protein powders? How do you get your protein? And I would love to hear that and have a dialogue in the comments. All right. Fuel yourself. Don't fool yourself. And peace out. Hey, if you're a vegan and you're struggling to actually lose weight, build muscle, tone up, and become the healthiest version of yourself, I want you to click the link below right now. Schedule a free consultation call with me. And on that call, we can go over your goals and a bulletproof plan to actually get you to your goals. All right? So go ahead and
click that link below, y'all.
Talk soon.